A Sunday news report pegs ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa for the win again in the high-stakes leadership race. It says, barring the outcomes of a party decision on the Phaala Phalaa robbery, it seems he will wear the most powerful hat in the party. His potential rivals, Zweli Mkhize and Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, are said to be lagging behind. We're joined by political analyst Lukhanyo Vangqa to talk about these developments. Good evening to you and welcome, Lukhanyo. Sources in the City Press lead story today, making several claims about the nomination list, which we are due to hear about this week. What's your assessment on the one relating to Cyril Ramaphosa outpacing his rivals, former Health Ministers Zweli Mkhize and Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma?
Thank you for inviting me, Iman. Yes, it was expected that Cyril Ramaphosa would come with better support going to this Nasrec conference than the one he went with to Nasrec in 2017. So if you look at him now, the reports are that, and we're still waiting for the official numbers, the reports are that he has received the nomination or endorsement of about 8 of the ANC's 9 provinces. You compare that with only 5 that he got going to Nasrec in 2017, and NDZ obviously got the other 4 nominations. So now going to this Nasrec, he seems to be in the pound seat, and closely following him would be the numbers that Paul Mashatile seems to have pulled there as well. I think the reports are that he got about 7 of the 9 provinces, with the exception of the Eastern Cape, I think, as well as Mpumalanga, nominating different candidates for the position of Deputy President. Zweli Mkhize only got a nomination from 1 of the 9 provinces, and that's KZN, which gives you the impression that he has quite a regionalized support base, and he has been unable to really spread out his support across the country to the other provinces of the ANC.
We'll loop back to KwaZulu-Natal in just a moment, but can you look back historically, Lukhanyo, and share with us how these nominations have traditionally stacked up and where there were last-minute surprises in the nominations? Because I'm thinking about 2017 and what happened between Deputy President David Mabuza and Dlamini Zuma when he switched support from her to Ramaphosa.
Yes, so there would be that those surprises, that what we call them nominees that come from the conference floor. But to compare more specifically the Nasrec of 2017, you saw Cyril Ramaphosa going to that conference with the support of 5 of the 4 provinces, and then you had Didi Mabuza went into that conference with the support of the 4 out of 5 provinces, that being Mpumalanga, his home province. KZN supported him, as well as the Northwest and Free State. So that's how those were stacked up. You compare that to Didi Mabuza now, who didn't qualify as things stand for the ballot for the position of Deputy President, because no province has supported him. He came 3rd best, if I remember, if I understand the league numbers properly, in his home province of Mpumalanga. He got about, I think it was 37 votes. From 37 branches, in nominations. He came 3rd best. Mpumalanga officially has endorsed Ronald Lamola for the position of Deputy President. So the political fortunes and the star of Didi Mabuza has waned quite drastically from Nasrec in 2017 to the present moment.
Do you believe that Lindiwe Sisulu and Dlamini Zuma's chances are as slim as the report suggests?
They are much slim. They've currently, as we currently stand, they do not qualify for the ballot, because the ANC's constitution requires that you must have the support or nomination of at least 1 province of the ANC's provinces. And currently, as things stand, no province has nominated them, and they have not been able to, when the tallies have been put together, they have not been able to come out with a single province where they have the highest nomination for the particular position that they seem to be contesting, and that's the one of president. So as things stand, they won't make it to the ballot, never mind winning a conference.
So let's come back to Mashatile and KZN. Only a miracle will close the gap between the fortunes of Paul Mashatile, a favourite for the Deputy President position, and Oscar Mabuyane, the Eastern Cape Premier, says the story. Your thoughts on that while factoring the sentiment of KZN members?
Yes, Paul Mashatile seems to be co-piloting with Sir Ramaphosa in that pound seat heading to Nasrec. He has gotten a lot of support, and his support is geographically widespread within the ANC. So a lot of provinces in different branches in the provinces seem to be supporting him. So unless horse trading on the conference floor comes up with anything different, and I don't think it will, Paul Mashatile will emerge as the second most powerful person in the ANC and will eventually become deputy president of both the ANC and the country. Didi Mabuza might actually be the first president to be reshuffled or to be affected by a reshuffle, which I expect to happen next year after the January 8th statement in January.
Interesting stuff to look forward to, in a sense, politically speaking. Then there's the race for chair, Lukhanyo, for which Greta Mantashe is supposedly miles behind. The newspaper reporting ANC Limpopo chair Stan Matabata topping the nomination list for that one.
So you get these candidates like Paul Mashatile that seem to be bifactional, that they transgress, they sort of they get support from both factions, both the RET factions and both the CR factions. And Stan Matabata is one of those people. The other person, of course, being Paul Mashatile. So Stan Matabata comes into this race now with the support of about 5 provinces, if I have them correct. So he really is leading that race as well. And Greta Mantashe seems to be on his way out as chairperson of the ANC as things stand. So yes, Stan Matabata, Paul Mashatile, Sir Ramaphosa seem to be the only guaranteed candidates for their own positions. The other positions, Secretary General, Deputy Secretary General, and Treasurer, seem to be wide races. They're quite open races, and anyone could win those. But for the 3 that I've mentioned, President, DP, and Chairperson, those races seem to be all soon up going to Nasrec.
So in terms of the ANC preserving its legacy, but also clawing back some of the territory that it has lost, what should a consolidated, united ANC top 6 look like from your vantage point, Lukhanyo?
I think we can tell now, Iman, that the presidency is going to be a men's game, because Sir Ramaphosa and Paul Mashatile seem to have that all sorted out. So the ANC would need to ensure that they meet their 50-50 gender parity, targets and objectives that they have. And to do that, they would need to at least give the SGO, that's the Secretary General's office, to the women of the ANC. So women would have to emerge from for the positions of both deputy and for Secretary General if the ANC really wants to have sort of that 50-50 gender parity, and also to be able to get the support of women in society. So that's the first thing. But the other thing is, how do they bring in the youth and the younger generation to be able to contest for a political vote in an electorate that is getting ever younger in South Africa, because the youngest population, the biggest population in the country is the youth vote. So if the ANC wants to go for that youth vote, I think they would need to elevate into their leadership ranks the younger people in the ANC that can be able to go out and win that youth vote from amongst their peers, competing with relatively young organizations like the EFF, like Musima Imani's New Bossa movement. So they really need to bring the younger people to come in to capture that youth vote.
Lukhanyo, as always, thank you very much for your analysis and for joining us on Full View.